Hey guys, it's Kelly, and today I'm doing a modeling Q&A. I had a few people ask me some questions whenever it came to modeling, so I figured might as well make an entire little video about it, so that way I can kind of answer any questions you guys have. These are a lot of the times questions that I will frequently get asked by different people, so that's why I'm making a video about it. This one's kind of like an interesting story. If I'm honest, I don't remember the full story on this. I started modeling whenever I was like 13 years old, I believe, and I remember going to a modeling agency and trying out, waiting in a very long line to check and see if they'd even want me, and then it kind of continued from there. We got told before we even left the audition that they did want to work with me, and then after that I was put through modeling and acting classes in order to hone on skills and make myself a little bit more confident, because at the time I was very nervous in front of a crowd or in front of strangers. Still kind of am sometimes, but that was a thing. And after that we got headshots. I did an audition for a convention, and we ended up leaving my small town in Missouri and went to California for the convention, and it was just a really fun time. I was with a very talented group of people, and we all kind of like took that step together. I ended up getting to meet some of the people from True Blood, The Vampire Diaries. I think it wasn't the actors, it was more like the writers, which was really cool to kind of see the behind the scenes stuff. And this was a convention for modeling and acting, so there was a runway, and I remember they played Down with the Sickness, which my little 13-year-old brain could not handle. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But that's how I got started into overall modeling. Alternative modeling was kind of an accident. I did my senior photos and they turned out really cool and really kind of alternative. And then after I graduated from high school, my friend Amber, who was a model at the time, is a model still, she's just taking a break, had me come to this large graffiti warehouse where they did photo shoots every now and again, and it just kind of took off from there. Honestly, I'm not sure. This was something that I kind of struggled with, and I still kind of struggle with, setting a goal instead of just seeing this as a spare time thing. I absolutely love modeling. I think it's so fun. But in all honesty, I would love to kind of use this platform to help people and help animals. One of the projects that I want to do will have to relate to donating to an animal sanctuary. I'm not going to say what type of sanctuary or where it's from because I don't want to give away the project too much, but I guess my new goal is just kind of help people. I also love being able to help everyone whenever it comes to fashion. I love fashion so much, and I think you can kind of tell by how much I shop. But yeah, I'd say help people is my goal with this. At the moment, no. I was working with a few brands and the projects are all done. Now I'm just kind of focusing on the brands that I want to work with. I would absolutely love to be sponsored by like Vida Noir Couture. They're amazing. I love so many brands like Killstar, House of Widow, let's see, Alice Corset and My Witchery. I also absolutely love them. My Witchery is the crown that I use in a lot of my photo shoots that people seem to absolutely love, and the woman that makes them is such a sweetheart. She's amazing. OnlyFans, no, absolutely not. Sorry, that's just not my content. Patreon, I've thought about it, and I've even like set one up. I just never put it out there. I never let anyone know. because I could not think of the rewards and I just couldn't think of any reason why someone would subscribe to Patreon for me. However, if you do want to do some kind of like financial thing for me, I guess, or if you want to support my modeling, I do have a Big Cartel, which is a shop that you can buy my prints from for modeling. Right now I only have 2 print things that you can buy. However, once I get more shoots that I don't have in magazines, I will be putting them up there on to the website, just because I don't think it's right to have a shoot that you have in a magazine also for print. It just doesn't seem right. So I've been doing a ton of like Dark in Love clothing photo shoots. I've been doing a ton of Killstar. So I would say at the moment those are my favorite, but I also think that this question relates back to the brands that I would like to, or if I'm sponsored by anyone. I kind of answered this question with that question, just because I love certain brands and I feel like they give such a great dark romantic feel, and that is absolutely what I'm all about. I love dark romanticism. So this one's an interesting question because I never really thought about it before. But I would say my dream shoot is I would absolutely love to be able to do a shoot with a wild animal or a domesticated should-be wild animal. One of those. I would love to do a wolf shoot. I would love to do something with like a fox or an owl. I think they are so majestic. But I would also say my dream shoot is I want to get into more of like the fantasy and corsetry style of photography, and I think that just being able to do that would be a dream come true, but even where I am now is something so amazing. I'm not sure. I would say I love every single shoot that I do, in all honesty, but I do have favorite photos, that's for sure. And I'll put them like all throughout here, but every single photo shoot has kind of had its own little story. Like there was one time I was doing a photo shoot with Jeff and we wanted this fireplace with like skulls around it. So Jeff and I always have an interesting time whenever we shoot because we always go to like abandoned places, whether it be an abandoned village, church, asylum, doesn't matter. It's abandoned and we are hiking for it. So with this one, I think I had like 80 pounds worth of skulls that were meant to be like burned. They were specific for the firewood. And we were hiking about 2 miles into the woods to this abandoned church so that way we could do this photo shoot. And it was the middle of summer. I was so hot and I will never forget that day just because the shoot turned out amazing, but holy cow, I was so tired afterwards. I think I took like a cold bath for 3 hours after that. I just needed to relax. But it was such a fun experience. I would also really just anything that has amazing architecture I absolutely adore. We just did a shoot out in the middle of a cemetery and they had this big like mausoleum that was super cool. And then my first shoot with Jeff, actually, we went to an abandoned asylum in the middle of Baltimore and that place was beautiful. It looked just like a castle. So anywhere that I get to explore somewhere fun and pretty, I would say would be my favorite shoot. But I love how each and every photographer is different that I work with and all of their work turns out so beautiful. This one's kind of fun too, just because it was another thing that was kind of like, this was an accident. I didn't really mean for this to happen, but I will say there were a lot of girls on Instagram who I looked up to whenever I was in high school and when I started this, that I just remember seeing their photo shoots and thinking like, oh my god, they're so pretty. I could never do that. I would never be able to do that. I just didn't think I had the talent. I didn't think I was pretty enough or anything. And now some of them I'm actually friends with, or I'm actually I consider us friends. One of them is Miss Demi Doom. I saw her online with I think some of her photo shoots and I just thought she was so stunning. Then obviously It's Black Friday was very inspiring. Riri Phillips. And then I would say I also saw Gothic Beauty magazine. That was the first ever magazine I ever purchased, and I was absolutely in love with it, and something in my brain clicked. I was like, I have to be in this. Like, I absolutely need to be in Gothic Beauty magazine. And unfortunately, by the time that I had started doing photo shoots and really kind of, not perfected, but really understood what I wanted my craft to be, the magazine had closed down. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all of your questions. As always, you can find me at Instagram at TheKellyK. I also will leave a link where you can buy and purchase prints down below, and I'll see you next week. Have a great day.